ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, who reminds you the three most important words are, hey, beer man. By Visa, preferred card of the USA hockey team. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by the new Dodge, the official vehicles of the NHL.
Along with Darren Pang, Steve Levy back Greensboro, North Carolina, set to go. Second period action. We're scoreless. Carolina has 7 shots in the first. 4 of the 7, it seems like, came in the last 30 seconds. They had their chances.
Yes, they did have some chances. Kovalenko comes in wide and just gets drilled at the very end. O'Neill has a chance, and it flutters off the end of his stick. Midway through now, Shepard has a chance going wide, and eventually Keith Primo has a backhander nullified by Byron Dafoe. Late in the period, Gary Roberts with an excellent chance. This with 30 seconds left on the power play. Perfect execution, and that puck again. The bad bounces continue to haunt Gary Roberts. He's in the right place, works his tail off. They're just not going in the net.
A former 50-goal scorer, Gary Roberts. He had just 14 goals this season, 10 in the last 60 games. But he brings so much else to the table for Carolina.
Yeah, because in the last 5 regular season games, he actually got going 3 goals in his last 5.
That's center. We start with a power play on for Carolina now for a minute 5. Hal Gill remains in the penalty box for Boston. Gill was given a penalty at the 1923 mark for hooking. This is the 3rd power play of the night for Carolina, and they really got it going in the last 30 seconds. That's the problem when the period comes to an end. It breaks up your power play and your momentum.
Yeah, the puck movement, the transition was real sharp. But now the advantage is they come in here, and if they win the face-off, they've got nice clean ice to start off the power play.
Kovalenko took a strange carom on it, dangerously in front, but it's Ray Bourque, so it's not so dangerous, and it's all the way down the ice.
I'm going to see it again because I think it's worth mentioning. The Boston Bruins are doing a great job of clearing the puck through the middle of the ice.
Here's Wesley now. I wonder if that's something you pick up on tape by watching a team. Hey, they play the boards really well, so we got to go through the middle. They tried the boards that time. Paul Coffey said, I don't think so. Shoots it in deeper. How about Paul Coffey shooting it to Ray Bourque? 2 future Hall of Fame defensemen, pair of 77s.
Yeah, well, Byron Defoe's lucky. He likes his 77, that's for darn sure. And he's shut out the opposition now, Steve, for the last 111 minutes and 53 seconds. Last goal against Buffalo. Regular season game. Terrific. Just terrific stuff from Byron Dafoe. First period stats here. You see the score. There are a couple of bagels. We went to Dunkin' Donuts. We had them this morning. 7-3 shots on goal. 11-3 in the scoring chances. Missed opportunities are still scoring chances. And you remember that last one by Roberts was the best one. It was an open netter. That's a scoring chance.
I wonder when frustration really sets in or takes over, if it hasn't already for Carolina. They've done just about everything except beat Byron Dafoe. Here's Allison now. Penalty is over. Canes power play now 0 for 3. Shot from Don Sweeney. Blocked by Coffey in front, and he will clear. And he puts it into the Bruins bench. We spoke to Gary Roberts before the game, before it was official that Ron Francis wouldn't play, and asked him what it would be like having to go without their guy.
Well, I don't think you're ever going to replace Ronnie Francis if he doesn't play tonight, but definitely we're going to have to all pick up the slack. Everybody's going to have to contribute, not do anything different. I don't think you can change your game plan. I don't think you can say, okay, I'm going to try and score tonight. I mean, you just have to stick with your game plan, and hopefully someone will come through with a big play and change the momentum of the game.
So Paul Maurice has inserted Robert Cron onto the line that Ronnie Francis plays with. Francis plays with Kapanen on the right side and Bates Battaglia on the left side. Seen a little bit of Kovalenko, though, but I think that was just an extension of some of the line changes. So Primo says a lot of ice time here. He's got Shepard and Jellin on his wings.
Face off. And off the puck possession, it's knocked back out to center. Here's Lecision now carrying in. Bit too far. Primo was ahead of the play. They're offside. We check in with John Saunders.
Steve, the new Dodge takes us back to Toronto once again. Air Canada center Michael Renberg will wheel on this shot, and watch Cujo come up with a great Raptor-like left hand on glove save. 1-0. Stephen Darren.
Did he say Pang-like glove save? Is that what he said?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Czechia quarterfinals, and this is up to the second, with Philadelphia out in front, pending their game tonight. In the New Jersey-Pittsburgh series, I'm very surprised by that and the score today. That series now even at a game apiece, heading back to the Igloo.
getting back to the Toronto one, the guys in the studio, Sharp, John and Barry, they play the game of hockey. And I'm sure they've noticed by now that Philadelphia is really going high. You notice that? They scored the goal, and they're waiting. You know, Cujo plays very deep in his crease, very, very deep in his net, relying on a lot of reflexes, a lot of room up top, and they scored the first goal like that. But that was an excellent glove save.
And if John and Barry didn't realize that, they realize it now. Canes look to set it up now. Turnaround by Manderville. Just behind the net. Belanger hit hard by Kevin Dineen. Shot. Stick save Defoe. There's Dineen. Gill will rub him out. And when you're rubbed out by Hal Gill, you are taken out of the play. Here's Ranheim now. Trying to spin away from DeMaio check. Ranheim back behind the net on Gill. Ranheim on his backhand. He was tied up nicely by Gill, and the Bees look to break. Here's DeMaio, knocked off his stick. Lecision covered. Lecision and Chase on a real fine tandem on that Carolina blue line. Canes look to come out. Headman pass, onside. Here's Shepard, lets it rip. Far side, and went wide of Byron Defoe. Here's Primo, gloves it down to himself. Primo lets it rip. Saved by Defoe. And that would have been a delayed offside, but the Bees come out quickly. Here's Boston now. Landon Wilson shot. Stop, rebound, score! It's Sergei Samsonov on the rebound, and Boston scores first. They take a 1-0 lead.
And I know there are a lot of Boston Bruins fans here, but there are more Canes fans. And this is just, again, you see this happening where it just sucks the life out of the home crowd because the Carolina Hurricanes had a number of golden opportunities. Ray Shepard had a good chance. He fired one wide. Then Byron Defoe made a save. Now the Bruins go down the other way. And it's the little guy, Sergei Samsonov, who takes advantage of a nifty play by Landon Wilson. Good shot on goal. The goaltender, Irbe, makes a terrific first save, but he can't stretch across to his left side to stop the little guy that was born in Moscow, Russia, who in his last 20 games went cold. Only 4 goals in his last 20 games and didn't score in game 1. But now he's got his 3rd career playoff goal. And the little fella's got good instincts. He goes to the net really, really well. Quick hands, goes to the net, reading, reacting, where am I, circling back again. Because that was in the offensive zone there. I mean, the defensive zone, I should say. Slapping his stick now, slapping his stick, and it just comes to him. Pucks, find, goal, scores, and he skated right into that one.
Samsonov had a relatively successful playoff last season for Boston. They played 6 games. They were eliminated by Washington. But Samsonov had 7 points in the 6 playoff games last season. He picks it up here with the goal. His first of the postseason. Assist to Landon Wilson, who really made that play. Wilson played 2 minutes in that first period, but he set that one up at 2:56, and Boston scores first. And a penalty coming up as Pratt was taken down. It looks like Bates will go for Boston. We'll step out and come back with that Canes power play.
Hello, welcome to Dodge Durango 101. Today, I'll be covering the 5.2 and 5.9 liter Magnum V8 vis-a-vis Durango's superiority in the class structure of domestic compact sport utility vehicles. You're not listening. You're just staring at the Durango, aren't you? Aren't you? Why do I even bother? I don't know, I'm just standing up here like a big doofus.
My whole life, I've poured Coors Light and heard fans say, thanks, beer man. Now I return the thanks. I thank Coors Light for their great frost-brewed beer. I thank my fellow beermen. I climbed the Rockies with these guys. But mostly, I thank you fans. Today, I consider myself the luckiest beer man on the face of the earth.
Story remains the same for Carolina. They were down defensemen all season. They've lost Marek Malik for the game. He will not return a Charlie horse. Curtis Lecision has just left the ice. So as of right now, they're down 2 defensemen already.
And don't forget, coming in, their hardest hitting defenseman, the guy that steps up in the neutral zone a lot and does put fear into the opponents in the neutral zone, is Sean Hill. And he's got that fractured cheekbone and he's out.
Here's O'Neill now, trying to make the play. Power play on. Wesley gets to it. Dumps it down low for Roberts. Here's Kampanen now. Bates for interference at 3:15. This is the 4th power play for the Canes. They really came on in the last one. We'll see if they have anything left here. Broken up nicely by P.J. Axelson. Race for it now. Axelson short-handed, lets it go. Let it caught a defender's stick and Karen's wide of the net. There you see the power play numbers for the Canes. They're bad bet against everybody, especially against Boston in those last 4 games. Here's Kapanen trying to break it. O'Neal rips one, and it's deflected by Defoe and into the crowd.
Smart play by O'Neal, who's got a good hard shot, and instead of trying to make the fancy crisscross play, he's got Gary Roberts drive into the net, so O'Neal just let her fly. He's going to take a pass from Kapanen, lets her rip, and the key here, Gary Roberts told us before the game, was trying to get traffic in front of Byron Defoe. Sometimes I feel that Carolina's too guilty of getting too many guys there, and there's not really enough room to pick apart any corners. But in this particular case, O'Neal shoots the puck, there's no traffic, and Byron Defoe is about 6 feet outside of his crease, so he just kind of blocks it over to the right side. It's a strong save by Byron Defoe, but I think it's a wise decision by O'Neal to let it rip.
Fresh troops on the ice. Face off to the left now of Defoe, and they were just about ready to drop the puck. Looks like one of the Carolina traders was right on the ice. Paul Coffey will do the escorting services.
Helping out there, yeah. That's tough, you know, you got the man advance, too many men on the ice right there.
Could you imagine? Primo will take this draw against Joe Thornton for Boston. Big face-off. Left of Defoe. Won by Carolina. But possession to Boston. Kovalenko flattened his man, Kyle McLaren. When Bork gets to it, up for DeMaio, unable to clear. Coffey is back with Wesley. It's Primo and Shepard, along with Kovalenko. Kovalenko tips it into the zone. Bork, McLaren, Carter, and DeMaio trying to kill it for Boston. Nearly an odd man break, but Coffey came over to rescue Wesley. Here's Kovalenko now. Kovalenko on McLaren. He'll hit the brakes. Here's Primo coming late. He was coming late because he'd lost his stick. Coffey down low. Pair of 77s get together. So watch that closely. Bork and Coffey getting together. You won't see that too many more times in their National Hockey League careers. Always interesting to watch. Power play ongoing. For only another 12 seconds or so. Hard hit by Kovalenko, but DeMaio gets to it and clears. 5 seconds now on the power play. Chiasson will shoot it in. Defoe has some trouble. Nearly centered in front. Braun tried to get to it. There were no Canes in front of the net anyway. Boston net has played well. Braun put down on the ice. He was just bumped by Carter and sent flying. Power play over. Back to 5 aside. Hurricane power play now 0-4. 3 of those 4 full power plays. One was only about half a power play. It's not going to make them feel any better about it, I guarantee. Here's Allison now. In across the line. Nice play to Kristen. Tried to drop it back to Allison, and he passed it by him. Here come the Canes at center now. Here's Dineen. Lets the soft wrist shot go. Rebound nearly to Cron as Defoe had lost his stick.
Yeah, that could have been a real dangerous play there by Byron. Stopped the puck. Looks like he was anticipating the defenseman coming in, made a lunge forward, and dropped his twig.
Sergei Samsonov, the super sophomore, has the goal, and he's got the puck now at center. Shoots in. Hervé, the easy stop for Coffey. Well, Paul Coffey's minutes go from not playing at all to plenty of quality ice time here in the postseason. And that is whistled on the puck deflected out of play by Byron Defoe. Coming up live tomorrow on ABC Sports, the Die Hard 500 from Talladega, considered the fastest and most competitive track in the world. Defending champ Bobby Labonte, he'll battle Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, and Terry Labonte. That's coming up live tomorrow, 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on ABC.
You go back to game 1, and the Boston Bruins in the first period were outshot 10-7, and there was that flurry of activity. But as you take a look at the second and third periods, the Boston Bruins got stronger and stronger, 10-6, 12-3 in the third period. And so in this particular hockey game, the Boston Bruins have done what they wanted to do. They've weathered the storm. First period's over. They lead this game 1-0. Bruins have had eight shots. The Hurricanes have only had 11 shots. Look for the Bruins now to start picking up their tempo of play a little bit more, too, getting the puck on Irbe.
Face-off. Good tie-up, O'Neal and Thornton. But the Bees come away. Should point out Curtis Leschyshyn is back on the ice for Carolina. That is a good sign. Here's Thornton. Lets it rip. Left pad save by Irbe. Bruins try to keep it in, unable to do so. Here's Coffey, trying to go head man to Roberts, and a good play by Defoe, and he gets the old snow shower from Gary Roberts.
One of the things Byron Defoe has talked a lot about, and this is just years of experience playing in the minor leagues, the American League, and what have you, and getting a chance in the NHL. But in this kind of building, when the noise is going, to cover the puck up as many times as possible. A few minutes ago, he went behind the net to play the puck. It was a wraparound. And a lot of times as that puck spun off his stick, the puck rotates. And as you go to stop it, it spins just like I'm going to use golf. Hey, golf's a great game.
Really? You were the golf reference.
And the way it just spun like that, and it went right off his blade, and that was a pretty good chance there for Carolina.
Off the face-off. Paul Coffey. How about this shift? How about the ice time Coffey's getting? Centering feed right through Jelena. Strong play, Kyle McLaren to play the man.
I think what Paul Maurice is seeing, too, is that Paul Coffey's taken the authority right here in the defensive zone. I mean, he's playing the puck, he's moving it up, he's playing with a great deal of confidence.
Coffey made that play, causing the Bruins to be offside.
When your friends are quite tall, yet there's room for them all, that's amore. When your foot hits the gas and you're off in a flash, that's amore. When a car makes you drool just like pasta fagioli, that's amore. The next Neon, a lot more to love.
Red is not a color. It's a century-old, kiln-roasted, tawny malt. Traditional Irish taste, which makes Killian's Irish Red bolder, richer, creamier. One look says a lot.
Byron Defoe was one of the players raving about the atmosphere here in the building for Game 1. We asked him how to combat that.
Freezing it a little more than normal. You know, if we start running around, if I get a chance to jump on it, I'll slow it down and takes the crowd, they got to quiet down and wait for the next drop of the puck, and just kind of gives everyone a breather to relax and get focused again.
Smart move, too. I mean, a lot of times you know when to play the puck, when to move it along, especially if you know Ray Bourque's coming back and he's got maybe the edge on it on the forechecker coming in you. You play it along, keep things moving, keep the speed going. But if there's any question, it's best for the goaltender on the road. Just cover it up anywhere. But again, especially taking the crowd away.
Tricks of the trade, huh? You guys got them all. The old fake equipment injury thing.
Yeah.
My strap's loose. You got a million of them.
You bet.
Here's Battaglia. Nice play to hit the brakes away from Thornton. Traffic in front. All sorts of sticks and legs and bodies. But they can't get it there. Dineen makes the move in front. Through Battaglia. Didn't see it coming. Boston gets to it. Shot. Great play by Coffey, who is still on the ice for Carolina. He enjoyed that television timeout, I'm sure. And there is Coffey winding up for the Hurricanes. 1-0 Boston. They lead the series by that same count. This is Game 2, Eastern Conference quarterfinals. The Bruins will head back to the Fleet when they go back even at 1 game apiece. They're up 2-0. Here's Shepard now. Moves his shot. Score! Ray Shepard, top shelf. We're tied at
1. I like butter. Soft hands from Ray Shepard. And good transition. Jelena goes to the hole. Ray Shepard doesn't hesitate. Fires it high. Oh, right underneath the bar. It might have hit the defenseman's stick before it got to Byron Defoe. Oh, that's perfect, though. That's right under the bar. Right under the elbow. Over the left shoulder. The goaltender's in good position on top of his crease, and Byron's got a good glove side. So something obviously fooled him a little bit, and it might have been the way that Ray Shepard shoots the puck. He shoots it while he's in stride, and by doing so, sometimes the goalie thinks he's got a little bit more time. All of a sudden, the puck's right there on top of him.
Well, Shepard has certainly pumped up the volume here in the Greensboro Coliseum.
Oh, did they need that?
1-1 hockey game. And they're finally on the board against Byron DeVoe and the Bruins. Right through the crease. Hines will get to it from Boston. So this would be one of those times to freeze the puck and try to get a whistle, I would think. Crowd really into it. Here's Gary Roberts. He's onside. Tried to lead Kapanen. Sweeney, though, picked it off for Boston. Here's Allison now at center for the Bees. Allison, little drop pass behind. Shot is blocked. Tried to hit Carter up in front of the net. Roberts now. For O'Neill. Lets it go. High off the glass. It was tipped. Hard check off by Gary Roberts on Kyle McLaren. A couple of strong boys getting together there.
And into a brick wall there. McLaren didn't budge.
It's Shepard, his first at 8:24. From Jelena and Coffey as that shot goes wide. That shot does it right on. Saved the forward. He had to stop the rebound as well. Here's Jelena. It's all Carolina. It's a shooting gallery in the Boston zone. Here's Primo now. Trying to use the size to his advantage against Sweeney. Jelena is camped down in front. Can they get it to him? Here's Primo. The big horse trying to work through. He is tackled. And Defoe has the puck. As a battle behind the net rages. And we have emotion. To John Saunders. John.
Steve, the New Dodge takes us back to Toronto once again. Frightening moment here for the Flyers. First, they think they've been scored against. Thomas with a big hit right there. And comes out in front, shovels it towards the net, but the whistle had gone. Watch again in slow motion. Eric Desjardins takes the shoulder to the jaw. He was out for a few minutes, but he skated off.
Big break there. But that potentially serious situation there. Hopefully Desjardins will be okay. Steve Thomas, one of the pure good hitters in the NHL, gets his shoulder there. What kind of frantic action we had here. Cycling down low. Keith Primo, bit of a mismatch right there with Sweeney, and he used his body, but it was a sharp angle shot still. They still couldn't get themselves open in the slot area. It was all on the outside. Then behind the net, there was a little bit of a beef right there with Tim Taylor and Ray Shepard, a couple of former Detroit Red Wing guys going at it behind the net. And both guys will go off 4-on-4 hockey. Martin Jelena, Ray Shepard, they had good chemistry behind there. Then they waited for the big boy, Primo, to come back in and use some power to drive to the net.
Penalties, 2 minutes each to both 26s. Ray Shepard and Tim Taylor. So we will go 4-a-side. 1-1 hockey game now. Shepard scores the goal and they try to take him off the ice with a penalty. They each get rougher, 9:56. For Roberts, bit too far. Bork got to it first. Allison will work it deeper inside his own net, nearly to Jeff O'Neill. And here's Ray Bork. Roberts and Allison collide. Roberts just hits everything inside. Al Gill, rocket shot, catches glass. And he went down to the ice. At center, here's O'Neill, one-on-one. Now he's got some company. Decision tried to get the shot on. He was blocked by Gill. Everybody is paying the price in this game. Now you expect, even after releasing the puck, a second or two go by, you still get taken down to the ice. Here's Kristich. Makes the feed. Here's Thornton, lets it go. Skate saved by Urbe. Urbe has not been tested recently, but he was there by Joe Thornton. Here's Thornton showing off some of his strength. That's what Boston really wanted to get him back in the lineup tonight. Against a very physical and large Hurricane team. Thornton battling with Primo. Pretty even there, and it works because it comes back to Boston. Sweeney for McLaren. Through a screen and wide.
This is something Boston does a lot in practice. They work a lot D-to-D, D shooting the puck, D moving their feet, getting the puck on net.
Here's Cron now, 3-on-2 with Coffey. Lets it go, and the shot was feathered wide of the net. And the Bruins look to break back the other way. Here's Bates leading the run. He lets it go. Stick saved by Urbe. Landon Wilson is there, and he causes another shot. Urbe able to make that stop. Well, Ray Shepard is a goal scorer, and he scored a goal scorer's goal, going upstairs to even this game at 1.
Everything you see around you, every day of your life, that's where vision begins. The doctor is in. Dr. Stanley Pearl founded Pearl Vision believing that eye care is serious medicine. Nearly 40 years later, the doctor is still in.
Nobody knows these eyes. Nobody knows these eyes. Nobody cares for eyes better than Pearl.
Nothing can top America's #1 sirloin steak.
Give me the Applebee's house sirloin.
House sirloin.
House sirloin, please.
Except our new toppings.
Whoa, stop. You think you can top #1?
Yeah, with aged Parmesan and melted mozzarella.
Smothered.
Hot. Chopped fresh basil, garlic, and ripe tomatoes.
Ooh, fresh.
Or coated in cracked peppers and spices with a creamy peppercorn sauce.
Zesty. Spicy.
America's #1 sirloin steak. 3 new ways for a limited time.
Gotta try an Applebee's sirloin topper.
Right now, you belong at Applebee's.
Artur Zerbe comes up with a couple of pretty good saves. One with the left pad on Thornton, and then from the right side, Sean Bates lets one rip from the outside. But the key to this play is how the Boston Bruins' Landon Wilson takes out Curtis Lecision. As you're mentioning, a good, solid hit, and it creates a turnover and nearly a good scoring chance, but Zerbe was quick to pounce on that loose puck.
Wilson making his presence felt in limited minutes. He scored an assist on the one Boston goal. Here's Jelena trying to break through Hal Gill. Can you beat Hal Gill one-on-one? I'm not sure it can be done.
Oh, I see him improve tremendously.
With his reach and size.
That's why I think Ray Bourque wins an award for Director of Player Development. I mean, with all the other things he does, he develops all these fine young defensemen.
At center now, Canes get to it. Here's Jelena in a lane, and it closed up on him, and that's because Gill came over to meet him. Another good example. He can play it both ways. Turnover back behind the net. Centering feed off a skate in front. As Shepard and Taylor are both back, we're 5-on-5. Here's Allison now for Boston. Thought about the drop, thought about the shot, now cruises in. Here's Allison. Wesley put him down to the ice.
He just lost an edge, though. He was cutting so severely, he ran out of room with his edges.
Ranheim will shoot to the corner. Ellett is back for it for Boston. Rob DeMaio now. At center, off Manderville's skate inside the zone. Chason fields it for Carolina. Up to Pratt. Flips it ahead at center. Glove down by Dave Ellett. Giveaway to another veteran, Kevin Dineen. Nice move by Dineen to work away from traffic. And a shot high and wide of the net from way out.
That caught Defoe by surprise. Dineen got good mustard on that one. Let her rip.
Samsonov, he is checked. Chason gets to it. For Carolina, he'll spin away from a Joe Thornton forecheck.
Everything's in the neutral zone here. See Boston? 3 guys just barreling in on the one defenseman. They got to move the puck a little quicker to get away from that.
Here's Wilson. Lets it fly. Glove save with an assist from the chest protector. And he'll hang on. There's more Stanley Cup action for you. That's coming up tonight. It's about 90 minutes from now. Colorado and San Jose will start. It's game 1 of their series, the Avalanche and the Sharks. ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. And just want to applaud everything Colorado, San Jose, and the National Hockey League did in terms of getting that series out of Denver. That was clearly the right call. They made a good move there. Smart thinking all around.
You bet. It's got nothing to do with sports. All our thoughts are with the families. There, Ray Shepard's 26th career goal. 5 goals in 8 games against Byron Defoe. That's a very good number. And our guys are working their tails off down there in the truck to find us that stuff. Nice job.
He owns Defoe.
You know what? But it's always interesting. I know I always felt you had a guy that always scored on you. It plays into your mind a little bit.
All right, so give me your guy.
All of them.
That's one way to answer, right? You don't want to offend anybody. Here's O'Neill trying to set up Kapanen. Kapanen is checked and punished by Sweeney. McLaren will go back for him. Wesley able to keep in? Yes, he was. Here's Defoe. Whacked that, got some lumber on the stick from Kapanen. Good forechecking by Roberts. And the Bees are back for it with Sweeney. Avoids Kapanen, up for McLaren. And they head man for Hines now. Into the corner. Wesley wraps it around for Kapanen, just out across the line. Roberts, a hard check right in front of that Boston bench on Steve Hines. Here's Wesley now, trying to get away from Carter, who will force him deeper. Precision plays catch with Wesley. Looks to move it ahead. Wesley punished as he let go of the puck. Tonight's attendance, they announce it as a sellout, just better than 11,000. Thanks to the curtains here in Carolina. Here's DeMaio trying to break. Forget it. A two-line pass is called. 5:23 to go here in the second. We remain tied at 1.
Well, DeMaio sees an awful lot of ice time. That first period, he was just around 6 minutes, but he gets in, gets out. He kind of jumps in, jumps out of the play. On that last play, he jumped off the bench, and he was looking for that loose puck. He couldn't get his skates, though, this side, their side of the center ice. And if he would have been able to do so, he was on loan, at least for a short while anyway, on a break. Coffey back on the ice for Carolina, paired with Nolan Pratt. Robert Cron, Kovalenko, and Battaglia.
Face-off won by Carolina. Coffey tried to keep it in, but his pass crossed the blue line, and they'll look to set it up again. Here's Bates Battaglia, who's had a spirited effort.
Chicago guy, of course.
Battaglia taking on 2 Bruins, trying to squeeze it through, couldn't. DeMaio will reverse the flow. Cross ice pass, couldn't connect, and it travels the length of the ice. Will not go far enough for icing. Coffey for Cron, 1 touch, Battaglia. And across the line now, Battaglia is bumped by Wilson. All of a sudden, Landon Wilson's picking up some minutes as well here.
Yeah, he sure is. Pat Burns is recognizing the fact that he's flying. He's taking out his man. He's rewarded.
Good example right there. He just buried Nolan Pratt. There he is in front, and it just hopped on him. Couldn't get the stick on the puck. He would have had a golden scoring opportunity. Now sets up Samsonov. Samsonov shot. The save by Urban. Tricky little move.
See where Boston gets their chances, though? I mean, right in the slot. Those are great scoring chances.
Here's Kovalenko. Towards the front of the net, broken up. Wilson has for Boston. On for Joe Thornton now. The centering feed broken up. Jelena back the other way, trying to catch the Bruins in the change. Slow developing 3-on-2, but they have it if they want it, except Raymond Bourque playing Jelena tough, applying the stick when needed. Here's Shepard now. Centering feed, couldn't get it through to Jelena, and this will travel softly down the length of the ice, and it will go for icing as Chason touches up. We're tied at 1 thanks to Ray Shepard's playoff goal.
Zima.
Cool. Zima.
You didn't have to be so nice. I would have liked you anyway. If we drove together once or twice, and went upon your quiet way. The next neon, a lot more to love.
Back at Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's hockey country, and we're locked up in a 1-1 battle, the Bees and the Canes.
Well, the Hurricanes are starting to put a little bit of pressure, starting to get the puck in deep, starting to work the puck down low. Ray Bourque just made an excellent defensive play, and nothing could be finer than the Cup in Carolina. The folks here have been absolutely outstanding. The fellas over at Ritchie's, Uptown Restaurant and Bar, Philip Ritchie, Alex Ritchie, great job last night. What a night. Watching the games, couches in the back. That's good stuff. Thanks, fellas.
Sorry, I missed it, actually. I heard it. All the guys raving about it.
Bad flight stuff.
Here's Coffey. Force it in deeper. Kapanen is checked up high by Gill. That's going to happen when Hal Gill checks you. Roberts was spun around. DeMaio for Boston. Left to break it back the other way. Into the corner. Again, trying to catch the Bruins on a change. Won't be able to take advantage of it here. Coming up on 3:20 to go. Roberts cuts it. Lets the shot go. Sweeney got there in time to make the block and deflected out of play. Well, Arturs Irbe, his last playoff victory, you'd have to go back to May 9th of '95, a member of the San Jose Sharks. In overtime, he won 5-4 at Calgary. And who did he beat? They beat his current teammate, his backup, Trevor Kidd. Both players got themselves new contracts during this season. Imagine only one can stay. Two very expensive goaltenders. We'll see what they do in the offseason.
Yeah, actually,
with both of them.
This day and age, they're not that expensive, to be quite honest with you. It is all relative. And if you like the chemistry, you've got both guys. Kidd's a battler. I'm not sure about that hair. Wow. It's more than I got on my head. I gotta talk to him about that.
Here's McLaren now. He's checked by Jelena. Primo will wrap it around defense. Hines gets to it for Boston. It's been a spirited second period. Not that the first wasn't, but this one's had more to it. You get a little sense of urgency from Carolina here in the second. Here's Pratt. Thought about cutting in front of his net and made the proper decision electing not to. Jelena flying at center. He'll shoot in, look for Shepard for the carom. Gill sets up to play the man and gets the puck. This pass for Allison could not click, and this will go for icing with Paul Coffey on the touch. 2:37 to go here in the second.
The Stanley Cup was supposed to be here 3 days ago. You hear that? That's 20,000 screaming people that are going to tear me apart. You tear! Thank you very much. Thank you. Goodbye. 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 Stanley Cup! Stanley Cup!
Got an important package? Next time, send it FedEx and be absolutely sure.
Boston Bruins, including their 2-0 win here in game number 1. If you look back at their last 28 hockey games, they have just 6 losses. They're a team that had plenty of momentum down the stretch. And they were in the 8th spot for a long time and crawled up to number 6 to play the Carolina Hurricanes, a team a lot of teams wanted to play in the first round of the Eastern Conference. The opponent of choice, I would say. Here's Kovalenko now. And Boston finds themselves in a battle. Nearly a giveaway, but Taglia couldn't get by Bork. Here's Gill. Off for Bork. Nice pass for Taylor. Out ahead, P.J. Axelson. Just shoot in and go for a change. Coffey up for Lecision. Under 2 minutes to play here in the second from Greensboro. Rolling puck on Defoe. Had some problems with it. Had to swat it away before Battaglia could get to it. Darren Van Imp. Battaglia's in problems. There's O'Neill on the big hit for Ellett. Kapanen shoots it in deeper. Good forechecking here by Carolina. Wesley couldn't hold the zone, and it's back to center. And inside the Carolina line for Pratt. Samsonov couldn't glove it down. O'Neill will force it back the other way. Try to hit Kapanen. Here's Landon Wilson now. Up ahead to Joe Thornton. Too far for him. Nobody knows where it is momentarily. Now they do. Oh, no. Wesley. He didn't know the player. Samsonov was right on him. He met the glass face first.
You gotta get away from that stuff. You get hurt that way. The water bug just went flying in there.
Here's Wesley. Didn't cross the red line. And icing will be called. Sweeney wasn't expecting that. And they do call it for icing. Bring it back down to the Carolina zone.
An interesting thing happened in the first game with Gary Roberts, who, as you know, had a herniated disc and had some pretty serious surgery on his neck, and in fact had to retire. He won the Masterton Trophy for perseverance and dedication. Well, in game 1, he absolutely hammered P.J. Axelson from behind. Later in the game, at a face-off, he took his time to go over to Axelson and explain to him that, look, you weren't my initial target. I was looking at Hal Gill behind you. You came in the way. He said, I fully respect injuries from behind. I have a problem with it. It nearly ended my career. In fact, it did for a little while before I could come back. Gary Roberts is a good soldier. I played junior hockey with Gary Roberts. He's been a champion at every level. But I think the way he handled the Axelson thing was extraordinary. Shows a lot of good sportsmanship. And he kept saying to me today, he said, he's a good kid. Everybody tells me he's a good kid. I had no intention of hurting him.
That's great to see. I don't think people think that takes place in the heat of NHL action. But it's really nice to know that the players really do care about each other.
Well, next time he's got the puck, Gary Roberts won't hesitate to hit him, but he didn't like the way he hit him the first.
Centering feed just went wide of the net. Tim Taylor got the shot on a nice play, a nice pass by the helmetless Rob DeMaio. Axelson lets it go. Irbe the glove behind him, and he's got the puck. As Lecision was sent sprawling.
Yeah, Lecision's got no lid on. DeMaio's lost his toque as well. Plenty of stuff happening to Irbe. He's way outside of his crease, and Lecision went knocked into him. Curtis Lecision in the corner, banging it away, banging away. Two helmetless players. Oh, looks like the old times.
Yeah.
That's hockey. When you got guys like that with no helmets, you notice the sticks are down? Sticks are down. Full respect for guys that don't have the lids.
It's a very interesting point.
Yeah, then Axelson just lets one rip right here. Defenseman backing up. The goaltender better be out of his crease. You better fully respect how hard this shot can come at you. And Axelson got full wood on it. You see the rotation of that puck? What a great look at that, isn't it? And you see the puck going right into the pads. Goaltender's down. Now, yeah, you had to look around, and that's a smart move because you never know. It might have gone through, trickled behind, hit your skate. You could be going in the empty net, so you got to make sure you look around.
With the heavy pads, it must be tough to sometimes be able to feel the puck through the pads.
That's very true.
Back to the point. Bourque tried to keep it in. Did. He's a master at that. He's been doing it for 20 seasons. Wesley hit hard again, that time by Steve Hines.
Good hit.
Speaking of hits, Gary Roberts will look to forecheck now. Look out, Raymond Bourque. Oh, and he nearly got them all. That time just got a piece of it. And Bourque comes right back at you. Primo shoots it in deep for O'Neill. Tried to center, was broken up. Hines gets to it. Good example of playoff hockey. Difference from regular season to playoff hockey. You're seeing it here. Here's Bourque. Let's it go. Glove saved by Irbe as the horn sounds. Two periods complete. We're tied at 1. We're set now for the Circuit City intermission report. And we're set to send you back to John Saunders and Barry Melrose. Guys.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. We know there's a lot of Hartford Whaler fans watching, of course, Carolina. We do. Moving from Hartford. The last playoff goal for the Hartford Hurricane team there, Jeff Sanderson, May 1st, 1992.
I was working them.
What are you trying to say? This isn't work?
What I'm trying to say,
hard work.
What I'm trying to say is, if Carolina is going to continue to play and other guys are going to score, I really think it's important that Keith Primo, the best player all year, really pick it up in the third period. Didn't have a lot of scoring chances in the second period. All the teams that are winning in the playoffs right now, the best players all year long are leading them. Keith Primo has to lead this team into the promised land.
And this is much tougher than coaching. Just remember that. Circuit City intermission report will continue in just a moment. We'll take a look at the other games being played tonight, including the Flyers trying to put together back-to-back shutouts against the Leafs.
Yes. Oh, yes.
When you come to this year's Triple Crown races, you're bound to hear the same word repeated again and again.
Yes.
Everywhere from the heights of the clubhouse, right on down to the rail.
Yes.
No.
No?
Unless you try to buy your ticket with American Express. Visa, official card of the Visa Triple Crown Challenge. It's everywhere you want to be.
For 27 years, I've been peanuts, see? To my pal Tony says, this Coors Light, they frost brew it, right? It's icy cold. So I says, I thought everyone drinks it because of all the peanuts I toss. See, I could hit a guy 8 rows up just by hearing the sound of his voice. It was my thing. But with Coors Light, I don't need a thing. Except maybe a towel. Coors Light! Coors Light!
Something wonderful has arrived to help keep diaper rash away. Introducing Pampers Rash Guard. The first and only diaper specially designed to help treat and prevent diaper rash. With a hypoallergenic protectant that helps babies' delicate skin stay healthy. Leading pediatricians said they'd recommend Rash Guard. The new diaper, clinically proven to help protect against diaper rash, day in and day out. Look for the new arrival, new Pampers Rash Guard.
Last time you made money in your sleep, you believed in the Tooth Fairy. But now, check into any Red Roof Inn with our coupon from USA Today and get $5 cash back. Plus, you get to keep all your teeth. Ooh, beauties. Call 1-800-THE-ROOF and save money like you mean it.
Tonight's second intermission report is presented by Circuit City Answers in every department, low prices all over the store.
We are tied at 1 apiece, and welcome to the Circuit City Intermission Report. John Saunders and Barry Melrose. The third period still to come. Now, the highest scoring team in the National Hockey League this year, the Toronto Maple Leafs. The only team without a goal in the playoffs so far this year. The same Toronto Maple Leafs going into their 6th period without a goal against Philadelphia. Keith Jones out of Western Michigan. What a great play there. 1-0, the Flyers take the lead. Then a scary ice.
Scary moment here. Stevie Thomas does what he's supposed to do. He finishes his check on Desjardins. Unfortunately, Desjardins hits his head into the glass. He was knocked unconscious for a brief period of time. He got up and he's continuing to play now, as all tough hockey players will do. But it was a scary moment for the Flyers. They cannot afford to lose him, John.
The Maple Leafs were only shut out 3 times in the regular season. They've now gone 5 periods without scoring a goal in Toronto. All we are saying is give Leafs a chance. Down 1-0. We'll keep you up to date on that one. The Blues and the Coyotes. What a game this one was, and what a series this guy's having.
Conn Smythe winner right now. Look at this. Is this a scary moment? He shoots at 100 miles an hour. Happy Boone got it down to about 1 mile an hour. That 1 mile an hour got over the goal line.
Still trickles in. 1-0. Keith Carney then sends this one from the point. And the Coyotes had taken a 3-2 lead in the third period. But then watch this play. Pavel Demitra takes the feed from, you guessed it, Al MacInnis, drops it in, and they're tied and headed to overtime. In overtime, some great goaltending. Grant Fuhr grabs that one. And then a little tough stuff.
Well, it got ugly here. These two teams hate each other. Jeff Courtnall's very lucky there. They gave each of them 2 minutes. Tocchet and Courtnall very lucky he didn't get the extra 2 minutes there.
Hope right to the face. Grant Fuhr cannot find the puck. And Doan knocks it in. Shane Doan gets the game winner in overtime. Phoenix evens the series, and again, Grant Fuhr just loses sight of it.
Throw it at the net, it hit Finley's skate, went right in the crease. Doan got it, but I love the way Phoenix played in overtime. They played hard. They showed a lot of guts in this game, John.
Al MacInnis has had a point on all 6 of the goals for the Blues. He has 2 goals and 4 assists. 4-3, though. They are headed to a game tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be tough. Penguins and the Devils. And the Penguins playing without Jaromir Jagr. Wenk with a shot here, Brodeur with a save, and then Morozov knocks it in on the doorstep. 1-0 to score at that point.
Well, we talked about the Devils not being ready to play with the Jagr injury, and it shows here defensively. You've got 3 Devils back against 2 Pittsburgh Penguins. That means you should be aggressive on these 2 players that you outnumber. Lyle Olden is usually an aggressive defenseman, but right here, he just lets the Pittsburgh player go wide with the puck. The other defenseman goes to the front of the net. Andreychuk comes in. He should be looking over his shoulder, picking up a late man. Again, Lyle takes the guy wide. It's harmless. You got plenty of guys back. You got the front of the net protected by a defenseman here. Andreychuk comes down and picks up the other forward. Now, it's the centerman's job, the last guy into the zone. His job is to pick up Andreychuk's point man when Andreychuk comes down. But what happens is they're not thinking clearly in that first period. Everybody comes down in front of the net. The defenseman follows right in behind the play, gets a wide open goal.
And then German Tita flips it out to Martin Straka, who hadn't scored in a lifetime. Finally gets a goal. 3-0 Penguins. Kevin Hatcher's shot is deflected by Alexei Kovalev, who didn't play in game number 1. And the Devils come up short in this one, playing against a team that didn't have the best player in the league.
Didn't have Kasparaitis. He's gone for the year. Jagr didn't play, and they outplayed the Devils from the first minute of the game to the last minute of the game. This is going to wake the Devils up big time.
So they head back to Pittsburgh, tied at 1 game apiece. And remember, as the number 1 seed last year, the Devils were knocked out by the 8 seed Ottawa. Penguins the 8 seed right now. Stick around. More of the Circuit City Intermission Report. Sergei Samsonov gets the Bruins on the board. 1-0 at that point, but it's tied at 1 apiece.
Every one of Circuit City's camcorders comes with a guaranteed low price and something extra. Real customer service.
If you have any questions, I'm here to help. We want you to have the best shopping experience ever.
Right now at Circuit City, pay no interest for 6 months on all camcorders $399 and up. Like this Sony 8mm Handycam with color viewfinder and night shot feature that lets you record in total darkness. Now just $399.99. Plug into low prices all over the store at Circuit City.
One day, science will create a pill for men's hair loss. That day is today. Propecia, the first pill for men with certain types of hair loss. In clinical studies, the vast majority of men, 83%, maintained their hair count, and most, 66%, regrew some hair. You may need to take it daily for 3 months or more to see results. Propecia is for men only. A small number of men experience certain sexual side effects. Each occurred in less than 2% of men. Women who may potentially be pregnant must not use it or handle broken tablets because of the risk of a specific kind of birth defect. talk to your doctor or pharmacist and read the consumer information they can provide. It may look like just another pill, but for men who want to treat hair loss, it's a beautiful thing to behold. Propecia, helping make hair loss history.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
When you're the champion, you get cars. You get money. You get women. When you're ranked 4th, you get to work. K-Swiss.
Mark McGwire, 178 homers, and that's just the last 3 years. Watch the best power hitter in the game try to lift the Cards to the next level. Cardinals-Dodgers, the Sunday night game of the week, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN.
Welcome back once again to the Circuit City Intermission Report. The one series that just gets underway tonight between San Jose and Colorado, of course, because of the tragedy in Colorado. They moved the start of this series to San Jose. It will get underway tonight with game number 1. Now, interesting in this series, Owen Nolan of the Sharks taking pot shots at the Avalanche. And take a look at what he had to say on Tuesday. Says they got more character. They have 2 solid lines, maybe the top 2 lines in the league. But after that, they don't have anything. So that eliminates a lot of their players. And on Patrick Roy, he's either great or he's mediocre. Never medium. He's either on top of his game or he lets in the weakest goals, get him rattled early, and he has nothing else to do. So as a coach, do you like this guy saying this to rile him up?
I do, because Owen Nolan has not had a great year this year, and San Jose, a great underdog, is not going to beat Colorado if Owen Nolan isn't great. What he did by opening his mouth and maybe putting his foot in there, he's put pressure on himself, okay? I like that now that he has to go, he has to play, he has to put up or shut up. He's done all this talk, and now he's got to back it up. As a coach, my best player, I like it. Now he's under the gun. Maybe this will wake him up, and maybe he can become the player that we all think he can be.
Quickly, do you think the move to San Jose for games 1 and 2 makes any difference at all?
None. Actually, it favors Colorado. Now they have 3 games in a row at home.
A lot of coaches like to start on the road or would rather start on the road. All right, the Avalanche and the Sharks, that's tonight at 10:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2. Stick around, there's more to come.
As a mountain stream. Busch. Head for the mountains of Busch Beer. The master thief.
You want to get him or not?
He's not gettable. The perfect plan. Why are you following me?
I've got a proposition for you.
The ultimate prize.
$8 billion in total.
It's doable. Sean Connery, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Ving Rhames.
This is for real.
You're playing both sides.
You want him? I'm going to get him for you.
You change partners. You change the rules. Entrapment. Rated PG-13. The trap is set. Friday.
At Wyndham Hotels and Resorts, we have a way of performing for our guests. A way of listening. A way of responding. A way of anticipating. Even a way of surprising. So it should come as no surprise that Wyndham is the official hotel of another extraordinary performer, Cirque du Soleil.
Wow. Even the donut holes cost over $1.
Honey, nothing good costs under $1 nowadays.
How about a 20-minute call to anywhere in America?
That's crazy.
He's right.
Dial 10-10-220 and all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents.
Just 10 cents a minute after that, man.
Is it really that cheap?
Oh, yeah. Try it. You'll see.
Sure, cutie. Why not?
Step away from the pastry.
What?
That's the last declare, sir.
Oh.
Dial 10-10-220.
Rick, this is Jim Hopkinson, a producer with ESPN Fantasy Games. Rick, you're a fantasy baseball owner. You going on strike is not going to bring Mo Vaughn back to the Red Sox. Take that up with their management. This is a business line.
More of the Circuit City Intermission Report. Don't forget a doubleheader tomorrow on ESPN2. The Senators in need of a victory, the Oilers as well.
I mentioned it's time for Keith Primeau to step up. It's time for Alexei Yashin to step up for the Senators. It's going to be a 4-game sweep.
That's tomorrow on ESPN2.
When it comes to fighting for the people of District 7, Jerry Cippinelli has always led the way.
I know the issues that face this community.
As commander of the Italian-American War Veterans, Jerry led the fight to save Soldiers and Sailors Hall. And now Jerry is looking to continue the fight as the Allegheny County Council in District 7.
This area means a lot to me. It's worth fighting for.
Vote Jerry Cippinelli for Allegheny County Council in District 7.
Some folks think my Subaru Outback here is just for exotic adventures. Truth is, it's good for the everyday stuff too. You know, like picking up the mail. The secret, full-time all-wheel drive. Something you just won't find in a Cherokee or a Blazer. Comes in handy when you, say, wait for a hair appointment. Right, what's your mate? You know why I wear a hat.
Visit Bianchi Subaru or Boucher Subaru and check out the full line of Subaru all-wheel drive vehicles today.
Derby is run in what state?
What is the Kentucky in Turkey?
Louisiana.
Texas?
Just around the corner.
To learn everything about the Kentucky Derby, tune in to ESPN and ESPN2 for complete pre-race coverage and ABC for the Run for the Roses.
I don't know.
Lots of big pressure coming in from the west. That's going to bring in all that great big sunshine. That's your big forecast. Now, get out there and make it a big day.
It's easy to spot someone who rides a Yamaha Roadstar. With its huge 1600cc engine, it's more than the world's biggest V-twin cruiser.
It's the big stuff.
It's perfect for those little rides into town.
It's the big stuff.
Hello? What's the deal?
Look, my friends, the girls are checking us out.
Maybe it's broken.
They want us. Our physiques are driving them wild.
They're just standing around doing nothing. Like my ex-boyfriend. Typical guys.
This is why I play this game, boys.
This game is lame.
Let's find some real guys.
Hey, they'll be back. They're just playing hard to get, huh?
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Midas. Go safely, go Midas. By Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NHL. And by the complete line of 1999 Lincoln automobiles. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
Steve Levy, Darren Pang from Greensboro Coliseum, National Hockey Night, the Stanley Cup playoffs here on ESPN. Our Visa storyline for you tonight. Byron Dafoe, his shutout streak coming to an end, and there are your goal scorers, Samsonov and Shepard.
And a Visa storyline replay, the tallies here. Wilson, what a play here. Puts on the brakes, gets the shot on goal, and Samsonov rallies in for the 1-0 lead. Then Ray Shepard, super smooth hands there by Ray Shepard, firing it over the glove side of Byron Dafoe. First Canes goal in this postseason, and tied the game up at 1-1. That's where we stand.
Third period just underway. Here's Anson Carter trying to squeak through. Unable to do so. This game has been a hard-checking affair right from the opening puck shot. Here's Carter from the angle. Whisks one wide of the net. Went through the crease. O'Neill, little slash on Steve Hines as both went for changes, and Hines looked back to take a number.
That's hockey. You get away with it, huh? Just that little mark that you leave on the back of a guy's leg throughout the series. But one line that's got to get her going for Boston. They've got to be more authoritative. Anson Carter, you need more from Allison. I mean, he just has not been productive in this hockey game. They need more from the big guys.
Carter was as hot as any goal scorer down the stretch. We'd love to see that continue here in the postseason.
Well, Carter to follow up on that. In his last 10 of the regular season, 8 goals, including the hat-trick at Florida. His last 26, 16 goals.
Exactly. Primo, the big check on Taylor in front of the Carolina bench. Tamayo couldn't get to it. Chase on for Carolina. Hurricanes are down a man. Marek Malik injured. Charlie Horse will not return. He went out in the first period. Chase on the big shot from way up. Blocker to side by Defoe.
Good play by Ray Bourque, though, using his body. Kron's a smaller guy, but he's very stocky. Ray Bourque leans into him, grabs the puck, and they get out of their zone.
I don't see any slippage in Ray Bourque at all. He plays the body, he plays the puck as well as I can remember him. Power play, penalty killing, and minutes. And there is the captain of the Boston Bruins.
Well, in fact, Ray Bourque always on the ice in the defensive position and offensively, but along with Hal Gill on the ice for 21 of Keith Primo's 23 even strength shifts. One of the keys for Keith Primo, when he's going and getting chances, he goes wide, he drives wide, and he got a great scoring chance in game 1 by doing so. Well, we've been monitoring it, driving wide once in this entire hockey game, and no scoring chances because of it. Barry Melrose talked about Keith Primo in between periods. And Keith Primo, like I'm talking about Allison for Boston, driving to the net sometimes isn't enough. Getting the puck on net, going in front of the net, paying the price. He's got to somehow get away from the defensive posture that they're forming against him, get that speed going and go to the net.
Canes get to it with Jeff O'Neill. At center. Off to Roberts. Poke check nicely by McLaren. Thornton had the hold up. Kyle McLaren, they are raving about him in Boston. That whenever it is Ray Bourque decides to call quits, McLaren will be there to pick it up, and they will not lose a step. And that is quite a statement about Kyle McLaren. Here is Sergei Samsonov trying to feed it through the Thornton. It was broken up.
As much as I really like Kyle McLaren, Ray Bourque comes along once in a lifetime, maybe twice, maybe 3 times tops, and it's a special guy.
Here's McLaren leading the rush now. Centering feed, trying to go to Landon Wilson. Well, stick behind the net. They whack at it, side of the cage. And now Wesley wants a piece of somebody, and Roberts and Wilson are engaged.
That's a good matchup right there. Both guys imperative, though. Keep the hands down. 1-1 game early on in the third period. Now's not the time for, personal redemption here. But Gary Roberts has to be nullified. Gary Roberts is in such great shape as an athlete. He works so hard. He's well conditioned. And that's why Gary Roberts is able to keep up the tempo through the course of a game.
This is the 3rd postseason series between these two franchises. Only 4 players remain from the last time they got together. The 91 Adams semifinals. Bourque, Sweeney, Dineen, and that guy, Glenn Wesley. And, of course, Wesley was a member of the Bruins then. They met for 7 games in the 1990 Adams Division Final, 6 games in the 91 Adams semifinal. Hartford won both game 1s of those 2 series and went on to lose the series. So the old Battle of New England rekindled just a bit here tonight. We mentioned the defensive woes for Carolina, already without Marek Malik. Nolan Pratt, groin strain, will not return tonight.
Man, go down that list. It's an ominous one for Paul Maurice and the Carolina Hurricanes. I mentioned Sean Hill. And you got Lecision there. He's banged up, and the defensemen they've lost, it's been overwhelming. 172. The forwards only 52. So, they're taking a beating back there.
They went down the stretch, Panger, with like 1 defenseman from their opening night starting 6. How many teams can withstand that and still win the division title, thanks in part to their division? But to be without 5 of your top 6 defensemen for any length of time, crippling, and Carolina held in there. They finished 4 games above 500 and the first ever Southeast Division champions. They've got a banner to hang no matter what happens. Next season in their new building, 80 miles away in Raleigh-Durham. Here's Van Impe now. Makes a nice move around Coffey, but he was met immediately by Kron. Tough to get past 2 and 3, especially in this game tonight. Here's Ellett now. Gloves and shoots in deeper. Coffey will get to it. Coffey flip out to center. Kron the battle for it. He loses. The Bruins pick it up. Right back on the stick of Wesley. Here's Kron now. Shoots in. Ellett is back for it. Battaglia right on him. Bruins get to it. Kovalenko just puts down Darren Van Impe. Axelson for Boston at center. Shoot in, but not deep enough. Can they catch Boston in the change this time? Had some success doing that here tonight. Nearly a takeaway. Manderville was going at it with Allison. Really give away in his own zone. And they set up back behind the net.
1-4 checker in Manderville on top. Paul Ranheim pulling back with Deneen, so they'll have 4 in the neutral zone.
Turnover, nearly. Good forechecking by Manderville, and we get a whistle.
Glove to
and a hand pass. And we get the whistle. 15:44 to go. Here in the third, we remain deadlocked at 1.
What you doing, Frank?
Waiting for him to talk.
It's just a game. Frank.
Some nights I'm in here, and I swear, I can hear him talking.
We all have our demons, Frank.
Shh, quiet. You're gonna get us caught.
Charlie?
Yeah?
You hear something?
No.
Now?
No.
Period continues on from the Borough here in Greensboro, North Carolina. Tied at 1. Crowd's been certainly enthusiastic. They've got a base to build on here in North Carolina. They say some 70% of their season ticket holders are making the 80-mile drive from Raleigh-Durham. So they should be all set to go whenever that new building opens up next year. And evidently it's going to open up late. Hurricanes might have to start on the road next season. Here's Precision now with Allison. They're tied up. But Hines just lost his edge there. Now O'Neill trying to make him lose his edge again. Sweeney back at center for Boston. Will swing it across for Kyle McLaren. Sweeney off the boards to Hines. Took a whack through 2 players. Goes flying on the backside of his hockey pants. Let's chase on the other way. Off the hockey pants for O'Neill. He's got a lane. Lets it go. It's blocked. Nice play, Don Sweeney. He went down to make the block. Sweeney, the Bruins leader in plus-minus this season, a +14.
A slash by O'Neill on Allison, just hacking and whacking down there.
Coffey is hammered, shown no respect by Ken Belanger. And that's hockey, too. That's playoff hockey.
Well, you have to hit the target like Paul Coffey. You have to eliminate it.
Primo tried to center. Sweeney dumped his man in front of the net. It was Jonah. Here's Belanger, the goal scorer from a game ago. On Thursday night, Taylor whacking at Wesley, puts it up high off the glass, and out of play. Well, there's more Stanley Cup playoff action for you tonight over on ESPN2, and it all starts in about 45 minutes from now. Game 1, the Colorado Avalanche and the San Jose Sharks. They're a little behind the other series, but they get it going tonight, and they will catch up quickly. Looking forward to seeing Forsberg and Sakic and Fleury, maybe even on the same line, over on the Deuce later.
Well, O'Neill's had a couple of chances to let it rip in this game. This is that classic little snapshot. Oh, the puck rolled on him. Just as he was taking it from the toe and bringing it back, puck jumped up. But Sweeney did a nice job because he's so far out. He's not, he's not taking much away from the goaltender. He just takes it. He's far out. He blocks the shot. And he plays it away.
Here is Jelinek now. Trying to move it in. Hill is back there. Shepard on him. Jelinek off the steal. Tried to center. It was broken up. Belanger has. Nice pass for Tim Taylor for Boston. Suffered a broken nose in game number 1, Taylor did, but he's back. He's tough. He's a hockey player. And he said, look at Rob DeMaio. He plays with that broken nose all the time.
You bet. He and Primo, that's just an odd matchup right there. He's been taking him, but he's been giving him. Holy this!
Nice move, Jelinek in shot! And somehow it popped up on the air on him. I don't know if he got underneath the puck or why it floated, but it did. Martin Jelinek, great opportunity, now taken down, and he waves his glove at the official. He wanted a penalty call and won't get one. With 13 and a half to go here in the third. Regulation time tied at 1.
What a play, though. Faked like he was going to the outside and dragged it back into the inside.
Here's Battaglia working on Gill. Battaglia centers right through Robert Cron's legs. Chason will keep it in. It's deflected into the corner. Good pressure here by Carolina. Comes up for Wilson, and he's able to clear to center. Right back in by Curtis Decision. Defoe directing traffic. Boston gets to it. Kovalenko the check. Causes Van Impe to readjust his helmet. Here's Samsonov streaking in center now. He's got some help with him, and Wilson and Thornton behind the net. Picked off nicely by Manderville, who's been quietly very efficient in all three zones. Kent Manderville. Here's Coffey winding up around Thornton. Feathers it through for Battaglia, who was going for a change. First man in on it, Kevin Dineen. Forget the puck, I'll take the man. And he did bump into Ellett, but Boston has possession. Here's Samsonov, softly into the corner.
Get your energy going so much and so much. You're thinking taking bodies, eliminate the man. And sure enough, that puck was just lying right there.
Ellett gets to it. Up for McLaren. Take. Boston coming out of the zone. Kristich off to P.J. Axelson. Gloves up in the face, courtesy of Kevin Dineen. The all-time franchise leader in penalty minutes, past Corey Robertson, earlier this season. Ron Francis, now with that ankle injury, has just about every other franchise record. Hartford/Carolina. Here's Sweeney. Off for Axelson. Just onside. Lets it go. Save. It was loose for a moment, but Irbe able to cover up. Martin Jelena, the best chance of this third.
Need new shocks? Come to Midas. We'll save you 50% on your second R2 Technology shocker strut with a lifetime guarantee. Go safely. Go Midas.
In a battle against athlete's foot, you gotta have, boom, tough-actin Tinactin. Nothing stops the itching, burning, and cracking like clinically proven Tinactin antifungals. They're so tough, they can even prevent athlete's foot. Get boom, tough-actin Tinactin.
Well, Martin Jelena, as you just mentioned, Steve, a pretty nifty move. Crossing center ice now, going up against Raymond Bourque, and just dances him with a fine move. But how about Hal Gill and that long stick he's got? It was the blade of the stick of Hal Gill that knocked that wide. Marty Jelena, well, he didn't light it up a lot offensively, but 12 of his 13 goals tied the game or gave Carolina the lead this year. 3, the go-ahead goal, 9, the tying goal. You look for guys like Marty Jelena with seasons like that, even though it just says 13 goals, 12 of the 13 huge goals for Carolina.
A Stanley Cup winner with Edmonton in 1990, went to the Stanley Cup Finals with Vancouver in 94, was factors both times.
Big face-off here, Allison. He's got Hines, who's a right-hand shot. Hines, watch him come in from behind. See if he can get a shot on goal off the draw.
Allison and O'Neill.
Oh, good win by O'Neill.
Won it clean. In his 4th year in the National Hockey League already. Not bad for a 23-year-old, Jeff O'Neill.
And he's been 71% on the faceoff in this game.
O'Neill tried to cut in. It was broken up. Hines back the other way. Trying to make the one-on-one move. Gets around Chason, but he slowed him up enough so Kapanen could get to it. But Allison comes out of the corner. Shot saved by Irbe. It's in. Score. Boston on the rebound. Steve Hines. And the Bruins take a 2-1 lead.
The big line, they needed something from him, and Allison made it. He made it happen. Feeding that puck over to Anson Carter, right in the high slot. And Carter's a right-hand shot. Hines is a right-hand shot. Allison's a right-hand shot. And it was Hines getting the puck on the far side, keeping it in deep. Now, Kapanen comes in, loses control, so they keep it in. Hines is going to now come to the front of the net. The save is there. The puck's in the crease. It's rolling. Oh, fair game. Fair game, and it's a clean goal by Hines. On the left side, right side, I should say, comes in, and the puck squirted underneath Irbe. Irbe thought he had it, but the first shot was difficult because Carter just let it go in one motion. And it looked at that point like Irbe thought he did have it. Remember in the second period, I mentioned before that sometimes you think that the puck, well, is it under there? And when you're really sharp, you look behind you. He obviously thought that was right underneath those big pads of his. And instead, Hines came from behind after getting the puck into the zone.
Well, they're roaring all over Massachusetts, especially in Lawrence, Massachusetts, where Hines is from. Hines finished strong. He scored 9 of his 22 goals in the final 18 games of the season, and now he picks it up here, and they've got some problems, evidently, with the goal light. We saw this the other night. How's that for modern equipment? They put a towel over the light because it remains on in the red position.
Well, apparently the goal judge doesn't have much of a say in the NHL now anyway, so.
But that happened in game 1.
Yeah, the lights.
And that same deal here in game 2.
There's the give and go. Allison to Carter, Hines coming in there, but the key really is the way that Allison bought a little bit of time and was very patient.
It's Hines from Carter and Allison at 8:32, and it's given Boston the 2-1 lead. They look to go home up 2-0 if they can now hang on. Inside the Boston zone, Axelson gets it out. Off for Halkiel, he'll let it fire.
Man, that's something on it.
A little mustard.
Yeah.
A little high cheese. No! Hines off his stick. How about that carom from the blue line? He tipped it and went above the net, under the glass. Here's Ellett now. Deneen overskates. Carter comes out. The line that scored the goal remains on for Boston. Here's Hines. Drop pass for Allison. Shot. Head save. Irbe. Shot loose.
Where is it?
Let's see.
Where is it?
Carter raised his arms. And I believe Irbe has it. And the red light, of course, is no help because a towel remains over that red light.
But Kerry Fraser was right there. He was on the doorstep. He was in fairly good position. Boston Bruins obviously looking over towards him, anticipating as you see that towel on the goal light. Carter on the right side, waiting for some garbage here. Manderville goes into him. Now the puck ends up coming out. Manderville knocks the net off. Now the puck is lying right there. The net's off its moorings. I mean, it's no goal. It's not an intentional knockoff by Manderville. Manderville tripped into the goaltender on a collision. So it's a collision battling for ice time. This is not an intentional play. I mean, I've never been a referee in the NHL, but just watching as many times, I mean, that would be a play where that would be no goal, and the face-off would be inside because Manderville knocked the net off its moorings. And from the goal cam, you see,
he's got no chance. He didn't do it on purpose.
No chance. So that's a great call by Kerry Fraser. A great call. And so if you haven't seen this before, here's the different situation. The puck is underneath Manderville. Sure it is. It's underneath him. Oh, not over the line anyway. Depends what his pants were nudging, but it doesn't matter anyway. Now, let's say hypothetically, folks, you're sitting there, you say, well, when would that be a situation where maybe be a penalty shot or it would be a goal? I mean, if the net's being dislodged at the same time, exactly the same time that that puck's going into the net, it's a goal. On this play, if he would have knocked it off intentionally, that would have been a minor penalty, first of all. That's a good call by Kerry Fraser.
The correct call and a pivotal call, Panga. Think about it, that goes the other way.
Yeah.
That could be the series. I mean, 10 minutes left in this game, you make it 3-1, Boston able to hang on, go home 2-0. As opposed to a 1-goal game, Carolina still has a real good chance to tie this one and maybe win it and then go to Boston 1-1. So a critical call, and this one goes Carolina's way. And by the way, was the correct call in addition.
The one line for Boston now that's jumping is that guy right there. Hanson Carter's jumping right now. Allison's jumping. They have a lot of confidence now. And Hines is going as well. Hines has been slowed a little bit by a nagging groin injury. Might as well be called a chronic one. He just continues to kind of pop up every once in a while.
Off the face-off, Boston wins the draw. Van Amp will try to backhand in deeper. Jelena along the wall being worked over with a stick by Axelson. And Shepard comes out. Leaves for Jelena. Here's Jelena. Little drop pass to Primo. Gives it up for a decision. Shot up high on the flow. Shouldered over the net. Gill gets to it. He'll wrap it around. First man to it is Decision. He'll backhand in deeper. Here's Jelena with Bourque. Turnaround. Shot off a skate and through the crease from Keith Primo. And it's flipped up high. Wesley will get to it. Axelson stole it from him, but can't keep in. And it's into the bench area, and we get a whistle.
Boy, Tim Taylor's having a tough time with the sticks. He got cut in game 1 as well, right off the face-off. And the stick came right up again. You see how red his nose is, irritated by the shaft of the stick or the blade of the stick. He's trying to get one of the officials' attention. Keith Primeau's stick's going to come up behind the net right there. That's a high stick. Boy, Primeau's very lucky he doesn't get called there. That's just plain and simple. That stick's up high enough to clip him in the face. That's too high, so Keith Primeau got lucky. His line had a chance there, kept the puck in deep, but it was the defenseman that came up and had the shot on goal off the right side.
Taylor scored his first goal of the season right here in this building against Carolina back on December 10th, and he made it count. It was the game-winning goal as well. At center, here's Chason. Nice pass. Tape to tape for Kron. His shot didn't get what he wanted on, and it was easily skipped aside by Defoe. Up high now and over the net. In case you're just joining us, Kron is the addition to the lineup with the subtraction of Ron Francis. That ankle injury keeping him out of this game. First game Francis has missed all season, and it's game 2 of the playoffs. Here's Thornton. Lets it go. Looking to pick a corner. One over the net. Thornton hit by Chason. Rolls around for Samsonov. Here's Wilson trying to give it back on the old give and go. Elliot's got a lane. He'll let it go. Tip, save, and cleared away by Paul Coffey. Here's Kron now. Off from Kovalenko. Kron will force it in deeper. Here's Brutaglia now. Gives it up right to the Bruins, and they'll look to break back the other way. 3-on-3. Landon Wilson from way out, top of the glass. Caron's right to Steve Hines, but it escapes him and goes to Glenn Weston. Off for Ray Shepard now. Shepard is met up high by Hal Gill. Primeau taken down to the ice. He goes crashing hard on the board. Gillen trying to force it in front of the net. Good little flurry there by Carolina, but Boston able to clear. Race for the puck. Hervey out to get it. And he'll clear it out at center.
Oh, that was a good play by Hervey, because he had to change it up at the last minute because his defense would come right to him.
Here's a chance for Hines again. And as he lifted the stick from the pullback to shoot it, it was taken away by Lecision. Kept in by Ray Bourque at the point. His shot deflected. Carolina looks to break. Headman pass too far for Primeau. Collision. The net knocked off as Primeau is sent sprawling.
And the faceoff will be outside. There'll be no penalty on the play as Byron Defoe stretches out for that loose puck. The Bruins have a 2-1 lead thanks to that goal by Steve Hines, and they're ahead with just over 7 minutes remaining.